Your VA claim is broken. I'm Combat Craig, and we're going to talk about how you can fix it, what you need to do, and moving forward. This one has the hallmarks of a lazy VSO. 12 disabilities, 12 plus 2, 12 disabilities, no medical evidence, shotgun approach. Throw it up against the wall. Oh, nothing stuck. The second problem with this claim is secondary conditions were filed when there was no primary, right? So secondary claims. You have to have a primary claim before you have a secondary claim. If you don't have the primary claim, this is absolutely worthless. It doesn't work at all. So we're going to go through 5 of these disabilities where they're all filed at once. And the first thing wasn't even service connected. So the VA rater went through here and was like, this thing's not even service connected. These 4 things denied. That guy probably took the rater about 5 seconds on that one. The third thing about this claim that looks like a lazy VSO to me is 11 out of the 12 disabilities are low ball orthopedic conditions. One of them's for PTSD. That's the only high value claim. If this veteran just focused on PTSD, he would get a higher rating with just one PTSD claim than all of this stuff put together. So let's hop into it, talk about it, and figure out how we could fix it and develop a strategy going forward. And that's what I do in my boot camp, guys. Check it out at combatcraig.com. It's all about education and strategy. And if you don't have one, you're going to end up like this, filing a claim for 12 disabilities, and every single one of them comes back not service connected because you proved absolutely nothing. All right, we're going to start off at the top here and work our way down. So right ankle condition, not service connected. See those little arrows underneath right ankle condition? Arrow, right knee condition, arrow, right hip condition, arrow, left hip condition, arrow, back condition. Those are all secondaries. You cannot have a secondary if you don't have a primary. So this guy really screwed this up, this VSO. VSOs that suck, I've had plenty of them. That's why I'm not having any more VSOs. This stuff just pisses me off. So these are all denied. Right ankle condition, didn't prove it, didn't have a diagnosis, didn't have symptoms, didn't have nexus, didn't have one of those, or didn't have all 3. And then the 4 things that are hooked onto it as secondaries, the VA rater didn't even look. Moron, denied. Moving on down, cervical spine condition to include a claim for neck and upper back. PTSD, right wrist condition, left foot condition, claimed as left flat foot and left foot plantar fasciitis. Left wrist condition, left ankle condition, right foot condition, claimed as right flat foot and right foot plantar fasciitis. These are all orthopedic conditions. They're low value claims. Best case scenario, you walk out with 10% for every single one of these things. And like I said, once you add in that first 10%, the combined ratings table and VA math starts working against you. So he would be better off ditching all these orthopedic conditions and just focusing on PTSD and getting that up to 70. Then he could circle back around and work on the rest of this stuff. I obviously don't have the paperwork and didn't review the file and all this kind of stuff, but I could tell that this thing is lacking medical evidence all over the place, for sure. So a higher level review would be a waste of your time. You proved nothing, man. Beat it. Still denied. So the best route here would be a supplemental claim. A supplemental claim is when you could add new and relevant evidence, and this one doesn't have very much, if any at all. So you're going to need some new and relevant evidence. So supplemental claim would be the best course of action here. So he's not service connected for anything. He has to establish service connection for at least one thing before you could start lobbing in secondaries. So I would be looking at the PTSD claim. How strong is that? Is it combat PTSD? Do you have it on your DD-214? Do you have a stressor? Did you fear for your life? Did you write that down in your stressor statement? If it's non-combat PTSD, What are you using to prove your stressor? Is that difficult? Do you have news articles? Do you have witnesses? Do you have police reports? If you have all that stuff, pursue the PTSD claim for sure. I would do that first. On this other stuff, right ankle, right knee, right hip, left hip, back condition, neck, wrist, foot. So these are all direct service connections, meaning that you're filing a claim saying, hey, this all happened to me on active duty. So these are not all equal in your service treatment records. I jacked up my elbow, my back, I busted my foot, and we'll just go there. We'll kind of use mine. So I have all sorts of complaints for back and hip and wrist and all that kind of conditions. But the strongest one I have is x-rays of my broken foot. That's pretty strong medical evidence in my service treatment records. So I filed a claim for my left foot, and I left the hip and the back and the neck and all that kind of stuff out because, like a complaint here and there, I mean, it's in your service treatment records, not very convincing. Broke your foot, hobbled around on crutches, kept going back to be seen. I was actually transitioning from one base to another base, so I had to get under the care of another doctor, and I have a lot of medical evidence. So some of these things are going to be stronger than others, so I would pick one or two and focus on them. Which one do you really have medical evidence to support this? You could get your VA claims file. You now have an entry in your VA claims file, and your service treatment records are going to be in there. Go look at what the VA rater was looking at. If there's absolutely no complaints of a condition, I just leave that one alone. So do you see where I'm getting at here? You have to prove service connection. You need a current diagnosis, current symptoms, and a nexus linking your current disability with your active duty service. Pick the strongest orthopedic condition, or if your PTSD claim is strong, pick that because that's a high value claim. But if it's not, pick the strongest of these orthopedic conditions and focus on that. I wouldn't just go try to challenge all of these things because you're doing a direct service connection. If you don't have anything in your service treatment records, I don't care how good your medical evidence is now, they're going to deny your claim. Once you get something, one thing, service connected, that's when secondaries come in. Secondaries happen secondarily to the primary disability, right? So if you get your left foot service connected, and then you come back and file a claim for your right foot secondary to your left foot, that's logical. You hobble around on your left foot, your right foot overcompensates for that. Same thing with your left hip or your right hip or your left elbow or look at my broken right elbow. I jacked that one up pretty good. A little skating accident in 2000, not service connected. Secondaries need to be logical, but you only need to have current symptoms now. You don't have to go all the way back to service to make secondaries work. But in this case, and I wanted to show you this, and I'm going to pop it on the screen again, you cannot file secondary claims secondary to nothing. It has to be service connected, then you can do secondaries. And there's no amount of secondaries. You can do 100 secondaries if that's what you want to do. Because the way it works is you have your service-connected disability, you file a secondary to it, you win that just becomes service-connected. Then you could file a secondary onto either one of those other two things. You win those, then all four of them are service-connected. So that's how the VA disability process works with secondaries. So on this claim, supplemental claim for sure, pick out one or two of these things that you can actually win. The goal isn't to go through the motions. The goal is to establish service connection and get the compensation you deserve. Going through the motions is just going to frustrate you because you're going to deny it. It's not personal, it's business, and it's law. If you do not have a diagnosis, symptoms, and a nexus, and you're missing either one of those three, I guess I have four fingers up, they're just going to deny it. You did not prove it to the VA, and you have to prove it. You have to prove every single one of your disabilities should be service-connected. There's no such thing as a no-brainer. This should be a slam dunk. these morons could see this all day long because I could see it. None of that exists. The only thing that matters is medical evidence. I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video. They might be able to help here, hillandponton.com. Lawyers can get involved after you get a decision and you have denials. They can't help you up front when you file your initial claim, but you might want to lawyer up. But I would keep in mind, if your lawyer sees what I'm seeing, I'm not a lawyer or a doctor, but I could tell this thing's complete dog shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if your lawyer's like, yeah, no thanks, I'm going to pass. They're going to be nice about it. I know I'm not as nice, but I'm not here to be nice. I'm here to talk reality-based situations with you guys because I want you guys to win. So if you like this kind of content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be pumping out more videos this year, and you want to make sure you get them, right? Well, Combat Craig's got another one. Let's see what he has to say today. I'll see you in the next video.